If you want to. And welcome to 520 Sports Talk. We are here up in the loft tonight at Johnny Gibson's downtown market. Well, we were kind of iffy on the outside weather. We didn't want it to get rained on, so we moved upstairs. We're happy to have Tnt Sports Academy with us and the 16U girls basketball travel squad with us. We're going to have a great show tonight. Find out a lot about this program, the organization, and just stay tuned. Go grab yourself a drink, some popcorn, and buckle up because it's going to be fun. Let's pay some bills real quick before we start the show. Catalina Auto Recycling. Why buy new when used will do? For all your automotive part needs, go to CatalinaAutoRecycling.com. I'm kind of like the poster child for Catalina Auto Recycling because my 350Z has got so many parts that I've gotten from them, and they've all turned out to be great. None of them have failed. And honestly, if you think about it, all cars run on used parts. As soon as you drive off the showroom floor, your parts are used. So definitely check them out. You'll save a boatload of money. Arizona Lending Specialist. Contact Mo the Mortgage Lady at 520-510-6698 for the lowest rates in Tucson. Now, when you're spending $150,000, $200,000 for a house, and she can undercut Sun Street and Novas and the big mortgage companies by a half or 0.75%, that's thousands of dollars you can save, and that's a really, really smart decision. Jim Miller State Farm, located now at Coach Line in Silver Bell. They moved up the street from Wade. He's right next to the Pima Federal Credit Union. He's your one-stop shop for life, auto, home, renters, and bank insurance. If you don't see him from the street, his office, look for the red VW. Go inside and bug him for a quote. Teller Trophy, 2 convenient locations to serve you at 6th Street and 6th Avenue, and at the 5700 block of East 22nd Street, Tucson's original trophy and award center. Go to tellertrophy.com. And First Heritage Realty, the A to B team with Brittany Palma. Looking for a house, condo, townhouse, or just land? Give her a call at 520-270-7958 and move the healthy way. We'll get to the rest of our sponsors a little bit later on the show. Coaches, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for having us be able to talk to the girls, talk to you guys. Are very, very interested in your organization. So we'll start here and we'll go around. Just give us your name and what your role is within the organization.
My name's Coach Eric Moore, just assistant head coach with these two gentlemen here.
All right, great.
Hi, I'm Coach Joel Chen, and I'm an assistant to these guys.
All right.
And I'm Kenny Neal, CEO and founder of Tnt Sports Academy, coaching with these two beautiful gentlemen over here.
So, Coach, tell me, how old's the organization? Give us kind of a little bit of history on that.
So we're about 2.5 years old. We got started. Some of us were coaching at other programs, kind of got together and thought that there were some different things that we kind of wanted to do with our direction on how we wanted to lead and mentor children. So we kind of started our own thing and went from there.
And where are you located?
Right now we're in between locations. We were located at Grace to the Nations, which is right off of
Pima Wilmot? Okay. Yeah, you can't miss it. That's a huge building.
Yeah, and I'm telling you right now, we're going to miss it for right now. But we're in a few different areas at this point in time, trying to do the best we can with gym space here in town. But we're at El Camino Baptist Church.
Know that place well.
All right. And we're looking at another spot as well.
Okay, terrific. So, what is the main premise of the organization? Obviously, you want to get these girls noticed by scouts. You want to get them scholarships. Travel ball is basically a collection of all-stars, very high talent level, a lot more talent level than in school ball. A little bit of nuances between the two of them. But what's your main objective?
Well, I prefer to say mentoring through basketball. It's our biggest thing now. We have three-tier approach to what we're doing. So it's academics, athletics, and achievement through community service. And so it's our biggest thing is really trying to have well-rounded individuals and athletes that are playing for us at any point in time. We go from kindergarten all the way through high school, but in terms of these girls here, we got a special group of young ladies that we're able to take across the country and do wonderful things with. So we're trying to do our best right now to make their dreams come true, and for those that do want to go past the high school level and try to end up going to college or wherever their heart's desires.
No, that's great. Assistant coaches with a 16U team, obviously their fundamentals are pretty sound at this point, especially coming up if they spend any time with your organization. You're 8, 9 years old. You're not worried about wins and losses. You're worried about developing them, making them learn the game. footwork, shooting, that type of thing, body position. Once they get up to the 16U, what are your roles as far as? You still stress fundamentals, obviously, but you don't have to teach it on a level 1 basis.
Right. So even going back a little bit, I do coach the younger kids, and 8-9-year-olds. They are super competitive.
Oh yeah.
They are super committed to winning. So, but with these older gals, sometimes we have to worry about confidence, and we have to worry about the mental approach. We all see different things. Where maybe I'm just watching the defense at that time, and we're worried about positioning, and they come from another club team where they don't teach it the way we teach it. So,
sure.
It's a 3-man band, and we really work well in together, and getting these girls right and doing what we want them to do. So, and they do a great job, and their success is shown.
Now, check me if I'm wrong, but when they come from other club organizations, it's kind of a two-sided coin. They can bring bad habits with them, but on the other side, they come and not putting down any other organization. They can actually come and have a lot of experience and a lot of good habits that you have. So it's kind of a good bad thing. You want to kind of talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think one of the things about having different experiences is that you can take the good experiences and hopefully build on those, and then we try to work out the bad habits. Right, one of the biggest key things is trying to increase their basketball IQ, where they're making decisions, because basketball is such a fluid game that you can't just do the same thing all the time and expect it to work. So
that's true.
It's all about recognizing what's going on the court, and then working and making the right decisions at the right place and time. So again, just to address what you were saying, we try to build on the good experiences, and then we try to minimize the bad habits as they're learning.
Very well put. Very well put. Very, very politically correct. It's the thing, because we're not here to bag on any other program, obviously.
Right,
but let's talk about. Do you guys invite scouts in? Do they contact you? Do you go out and kind of search them out? Are you guys like being proactive or reactive?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, honestly speaking, this is our first time going through this level of girls that we've had, and kind of new to the process ourselves. But we do a little bit of both. We reach out to those that we know that can help, and then on top of that, we are getting a number of calls and people reaching out via email or whatever it is. So it works that way.
That's great. Talk a little bit about this tournament that you just got. Obviously, you did very well. Let's kind of give them props for that.
So we've come 2 tournaments in a row. We went to the Nike Nationals in Chicago. We went 4-1 up there. Kind of got raw end of the deal, I would say, at the end of the whole tournament. But we really wanted to be 5-0. Lost our focus. 4-1. Excellent job. It's one of the best tournaments I've seen my girls grow through, and then that fed right into California, where we went to the EOT Swiss Championships up there.
And where was that, in L.A. or?
It was in basically in Ladera, Orange County.
Okay, all right. I'm from San Diego, so I know exactly where that is. The Chicago, obviously, the Nike tournament is very, very well known throughout the country. What do you tell the girls when they walk into a big arena and their eyes are like open to the size of silver dollars? How do you kind of reel that back in?
Sometimes you just let them go in there and experience it. You tell them to go there and enjoy it. You tell them, look around, take your time, enjoy it, and have fun with it. That's what you guys are here for, to have fun. And at the end of the day, it's just basketball. Yeah. So all you have to do is just go and play. Yeah. That's it. It doesn't matter how big the stage is, how bright the lights are. At the end of the day, it's just basketball. Go have fun. Go enjoy it.
Yeah, everybody puts their shoes on 1 foot at a time.
There you go.
So at the end of the day, everyone's doing the same thing.
No, that's great. I had wearing the wristband. I had the national champion 7-on-7 Tucson Turf kids on Saturday.
Oh, right.
Toby's a great guy, and their second national championship in the last 3 years. So, just a really fun time with those guys. Ask them the same question. You're walking into Atlanta Falcons Stadium, and it holds what 75, 80,000 people. You know, it's like how do you kind of keep the composure and basically it was the same answer. You know, let them experience it and then start focusing. You know.
One thing I'd say different is in basketball, there's this orange thing with a glass backboard, and then you're seeing 300 feet that way, so you're looking at this depth perception trying to shoot. So our shooters are going through problems just trying to...
You know what? I could totally appreciate that. I don't know how long you guys have been in town, but I played in the old Tucson High gym. And the one end was, the wall was, 6 feet behind the basket. The other one, they had the part of the girls' gym and where they wrestled, and it was way back. And so I always had one good half and one bad half because the depth perception is just like it throws you off. And a lot of people don't realize that that's a big part. I mean, comfort. That's why most teams, that's part of the home court advantage. Because of the fact you're familiar with your gym and you go to a place, especially with the depth perception is a little off, it can kind of throw you for a loop.
It really can throw you for a loop. So my first 5 shots, I remember playing in the McKell Center. First 5 all air balls, short and long. Never touched the rim, so I it was my first experience, so I get it. Yeah.
I hear you. Okay, so 4-1 coming out of Chicago. That was your first tournament. Then you went to LA, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. What did you guys as coaches? I'll ask the players the same question, but what did you guys as coaches take out of that experience? Being in Chicago, being in the bright lights, but also going 4-1.
It's growth. I mean, we were there 2 years ago, and we didn't go 4-1. So it's growth. It's progress. It shows development, and that's what you take away the positives of that. And the girls did a wonderful job. So there's absolutely nothing negative that could have come out of that. And it just reinforces everything that we've been doing for the past year that they went from the last time, and we couldn't be more proud of them.
I think we all agree you're going to learn more from a loss than you are a win. I mean, a win, you happen to be the best team on the court or the field that particular day. Mm-hmm. A loss is you can break down film, you can look at it, missed read on a diagonal pass, somebody missed a pick, somebody boxed you out where you should have had an easy board, that type of thing, where you can actually make it a learning experience. In that one loss in Chicago, what did you take away from that?
Finishing the job is something that I think every single athlete has to be prepared for, and it's something that you have to take your lumps through going, right? We let our guard down. It was the least focused in terms of how we warmed up. It was the least focused with how we were going through, our offensive sets, trying to pass the ball around instead of taking one shot or just not being focused. So, I mean, I think that focus, finishing the job, and most importantly, the stuff that's bled into the other tournaments is just believing and knowing that not only are you at that level, but you can beat pretty much whatever you want to at that level. It's that change in mindset on really understanding who you are as an athlete and what you are as a team.
That's a good point. Did you guys take any momentum from that Chicago tournament into California, or were the events too far apart?
No, they were ready to go as soon as we got there. It's hard. You got 3 men coaching women, and you're really trying to understand the differences between. I was never a high school girl. I know none of these guys were. So you really try to understand how to reach them when things are down, when they're good. How do you keep that level and how keep that balance? And I will tell you, what we experienced in LA from that perspective was, once again, playing against teams that people technically think that we're not ready for, and then surprising every single person, even the other teams, because you don't pass the eye test. Well, now you're in this fight, so it's staying with that,
Exactly. That kind of draws me back to the 7-on-7 show on Saturday. Tucson Turf's second game was against Cam Newton's team, and they brought 80 guys as kind of an intimidation factor.
Right.
Only 14 can play. You can have 80 guys, and 14 are going to play, and the rest of them are going to sit in the stands. So, they tried to use it as an intimidation factor, and Tucson Turf just went out and kicked their butt. So I was just really, really pleased with that. Let me ask you this, because I've always wondered. I have never coached girls. I've coached boys. Boys kind of have a chip on their shoulders. We're guys, we kind of think we know more than we probably do. Girls seem to be more like a sponge. They want to They want to learn. They want to please the coach. They're all about learning and learning fundamentals. Guys are just like, yeah, okay, coach. You know, you kind of tell us the difference if you've coached both, or what you get out of coaching girls.
Yeah, I would have to disagree with you on that, because we have some girls that play like they have a chip on their shoulders,
okay.
and they're definitely some
chips.
of them are more aggressive, if not just as much.
That's the
as
first
some
time
of
I've
the
ever
boys.
heard anybody disagree with that one.
So
I will disagree thoroughly with that.
I think we encourage that because
Okay.
we want to encourage them to be able to do anything they want. I mean, it doesn't matter who's on that court, whether it be a boy or a girl. I mean, we want you to play hard.
Sure.
At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
We beat plenty of boys in guy tournaments.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I mean,
not
for us,
these girls.
I don't think we necessarily have that, sponge. But everyone's open to criticism and learning.
Oh yeah, sure.
But
That's a good point.
I will say, they do, like you said, they do want to play for their coaches more. Boys tend to, they're
We're boys,
they're
we
all
know how it is.
they're all into the glory.
Yeah.
And the other thing is they sell out for each other, and that's the passion I have in coaching them. So.
Coaching girls is easy. I have a hard-head 10-year-old who's very difficult to coach. These girls are no problem at all. Not one problem
All right, at
at
least I got
all.
one ally here.
One of the other things I think, that the girls are a little bit more cohesive too. Like Coach Kenny was saying, a lot of them tend to stick together, help each other out, whereas boys, they're more in it for themselves than.
Well, yeah, I mean, even if you look at big pro, look at the U of A. I mean, Coach Barnes does a fabulous job. She's got something very special brewing at the U of A. The men's basketball team's obviously been established for 20, 30 years. So it's a different style of basketball. It's more team oriented. If you take Coach Barnes, all her recruits coming in for this coming year are all foreign players, either from New Zealand or Europe or Western Asia. So. It's just, and you can see that in the guys. I mean, even the foreign players in the NBA, their fundamentals are better and they're less flashy. They're not going to maybe take you off the dribble and a kind of clear out, but they know what a bounce pass is. They know how to pick and roll. They know how the diagonal pass is. And so there's a lot to be said for that. And I think that kind of translates into the girls' game because of the fact they can't dunk. They're not going to sit there and go for a breakaway jam. It's more team oriented.
We pride our girls. I mean, in my opinion, when I looked at every single team out there, whether it was Chicago or LA, when we get to playing defense, for one, and the way that they're cohesive in that nature on their game, there's nobody out there that looks better than them. We have to be that way because of size. These girls come in there looking how small we are. The next thing you know, they got the ball and there's three people on them. By the time they pass it back out, they're already back out to the ball. So it's constant.
Small doesn't matter if you know how to box out. You're good.
I didn't say they box out. I just said they work hard. We're trying to work on the box out
I
part.
hear you. It doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl team.
Yeah, you got that right. That's
always
right.
a work in progress and stuff. So I remember when I played. Defense was not a priority. I played in high school in the late 70s, early 80s in college, and it was UNLV run and gun, first team to 80 in high school, first team to 100 in college, and you'd have 100 to 94 games or something like that where defense was not really played like it is today. Now everybody's defensive minded until you get into the NBA, and then that kind of changes. With the exception of a few teams, San Antonio, Golden State stuff, but. Tell me, what's the biggest joy of seeing, not only coaching these teams, seeing them develop, but seeing them develop as people outside the court?
I mean, that's probably the biggest joy is just seeing their development from, some of these girls have been of our program for years, or since the start of it. And, just seeing them grow and to see how they've matured into, especially the girls, they turned into wonderful young ladies, productive citizens. You see them with jobs and they're driving. That's not getting in any trouble, great grades. Community service. It's what we preach. It's what Coach Kenny dipped on when we first said it. It's player development. Through mentorship, and that's what it's about. That's so. We couldn't be more proud of these girls.
That's great, and we are big advocates of the student athlete, not the athlete student.
Right.
So, at some point in time, and we all know that, you're going to have to hang up the sneakers and you're going to have to refocus on another job. Even if you stay in coaching, it's not the same as being a player, and that's where, the schooling comes in. But what I like about athletics, and it doesn't matter what sport it is, some of the most valuable life lessons that you can learn as an adult come from athletics. Being consistent, teamwork, focus, time management, all those you're going to use later on in adult life in a non-athletic job, and they all come from being an athlete.
I can tell you, we got 3 coaches here, work full time, and then devote all their time to this program. We all played sports at some degree, collegiately or just through high school, whatever it was, and obviously our lives are over when it comes to that stuff. But to be able to show up and to give these kids the amount of energy we need because of exactly what you said, the values that you learn from being an athlete, the way you can go and be a leader in the way he is at his job, and him being one of the head people over where he's at in his job, and actually teaching people from that standpoint, having the right kind of mindset, knowing that you have to be there for people who are around you and have a team of people that you build in order to be successful. And I'm going to tell you right now, you were talking about girls again. Girls, a lot of times they don't get along together. And when you look at
they're real competitive against each other. I've noticed that.
When you look at these girls, it's amazing that we don't have all the cat fights or whatever you want to call it. They really do absolutely love each other, and I can't be more happy. I mean, I guess we're doing okay as men coaches, trying to help these young ladies be who they're supposed to be. So it's wonderful.
No, that's great. I want to thank you guys for kind of laying the foundation. Real quick before we switch up, if you want to tell the viewers how they can get their daughters, or even I guess you do boys too, their sons or daughters, involved in TNT, here's your chance to shine.
All right. Well, we are a wonderful program. We start from K all the way up through high school. You can get to us at tntsportsacademy.com. Like I said, we take both boys and girls. We're definitely aggressive coaches who love to put all of our energy into exactly what it takes to make a kid successful, not only on the floor but off the floor. It's important that every single kid understands what their value in life is and exactly where they are within their team, within their family, and the ones that love them around them. So thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. It's wonderful to coach with such beautiful men out here, and we're ready for your kids if you want to bring them over. So thank you.
And that's the reason. That's one of the main reasons that I do what I do. I mean, you guys are coaching. I have coached like YMCA boys and stuff, but this is my opportunity to give back to the people that helped me through athletics, and just it makes me feel really good when somebody can come back and say, "Hey, I was on your show. Guess what? I got a scholarship to so and so college and stuff."
That's awesome.
I'm like, rock on. That's the whole idea of it. I like to take all the athletes that all the mainstream media doesn't even recognize. I don't do the football players. I don't do the men's basketball players. I'll take all the other athletes because, for one, in my mind, they're just as important as a U of A football player or a Sean Miller basketball player. And there's a whole lot more athletes that I have a pool to choose from than just 2 sports. So that's the biggest reason we have 520 Sports Talk here and 602 Sports Talk up in Phoenix. So I want to thank you very much for coming in and filling in, building the foundation. So now that the floor is poured, we'll let the kids build the house.
Yeah, please. All right. And make them talk, please.
All right, we'll do. Okay, so while we're switching up, let's get back to the sponsors. Oasis Air Conditioning and Heating. Actually, I talked to them this morning. This is the last time of the year that you want your air conditioner to go out. I mean, it's just stupid hot out there right now and humid. So definitely make sure your units are in tip-top shape. Give David Murrieta a call, 520-648-1755. New Stitch Embroidery was down there today. I'll be back down there tomorrow. They're making us some ball caps and some 520 Sports Talk T-shirts for our upcoming fundraiser, and we'll give you more information on that as we get a date set. We do know it's going to be at Frog and Firkin in University Main Gate Square, so just keep watching the Facebook page, and we will let you know what's going on. We're going to try to go a little bit more high-tech, do a split screen, have our sponsors' logos on the screen, so when we're just not talking about them, you can actually see it. They can accompany it with a phone number, with a website, with the Facebook page, that type of thing. It's going to really enhance our advertising efforts to our sponsors, because at the end of the day, our sponsors is what keeps us going, and we really love them and appreciate them. So New Stitch Embroidery, located just north of Pueblo High School at 3114 South 12th Avenue, for all your silk screening, embroidery, and now they have fabric laser printing. If it's a cotton shirt or cotton top, they can fabric laser print. It doesn't fade or crack like some of the silk screen does after it gets old and whatnot. Give them a call, 520-741-1070, or go on the internet, and it's newstitch.net. It's not .com, newstitch.net. So Pat's Drive-In, one of my favorite sponsors of all time. You know what? You can't really call yourself a Tucsonan unless you've been to Pat's Drive-In. It's right on the corner of Niagara and Grande, between Speedway and St. Mary's, on the west side of town in Barrio Hollywood. It's been there since 1961. You will not be disappointed. It has the best chili dogs, fries in town. And if you haven't experienced it, please go down there and check it out. That's Pat's Drive-In. Dynamic Air Conditioning and Heating, where your comfort is our only concern. Right now, they're doing an Angel Heart Pajama Project. Bring pajamas or books. If you bring both, they will give you a 1-year service contract that they will come out and look and service your air conditioner, your heating. That's hundreds of dollars right there value. So definitely check out the Angel Heart Pajama Project, and bring the books and the pajamas. They're going to be at Funtastics on the 4th of August. They're selling discounted tickets for $15, bracelets for 3 hours of unlimited go-karts and golf and bumper boats. So definitely call them at Comfort Air Conditioning, Dynamic Comfort Air Conditioning and Heating. And we'll do the rest of our sponsors a little bit later. Ladies, how are you?
Good. How are
Okay,
you?
so you get that one, you share that one, and you get that one. How's that work? All right. Okay, so we'll start with you. Give us your name, where you go to school, and what position you play.
Okay. My name's Kylie Callan. I go to South Point Catholic High School, and I play point guard.
Okay, great.
My name is Brianna Arizmendi, and I go to South Point, and I'm a guard.
My name's
Shooting or point? Combo?
Both, yeah.
That a girl.
My name's Tessa Hastings. I go to South Point too, and I'm like a wing post,
Okay,
kind of.
You're a 2?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm Bria Medina. I go to South Point and I play point guard.
I'm Skylar Begay. I go to Tucson High and I play forward post.
I've seen you play because I know your coach. Okay, so we got 4 Lancers and a Badger. That's great. That's great. All right, so talk to us a little bit about going to Chicago under the bright lights, the Nike tournament, probably the biggest tournament in the nation as far as travel ball is concerned. I was asking the coaches, I was like, how do you let the girls walk into, was it at the United Center?
No,
McCormick, okay. But you're in a big arena. How do you bright lights, your eyes are as big as silver dollars. How do you kind of reel it back in and refocus and get ready for the game once you've seen, where you're playing and taking in, kind of absorbing the atmosphere? And anybody can start.
Okay.
Well, I think like a lot of times you just have to remember like the court's the same size. It's exactly the same thing.
Good point.
And we went last year, and so I think we got a lot of the jitters out, and so this year it was kind of more about just playing our game.
Okay, great. Anybody else want to add to that?
Yeah. I feel like we practiced so well before that when we walked in, all we had to do was think about practice. All we had to do was go back, and when we walked in, I feel like we were all so connected that we just kept talking. We kept talking as we walked in, we talked about the team, and we were just focused. Yeah.
Okay. So are you guys all upperclassmen?
No.
Okay, so who's my juniors and seniors?
I'm a junior.
Okay,
Sophomore.
nice.
Sophomore.
Mad respect for that.
Sophomore.
Okay, so let me just talk to you on this one.
Okay.
All right, so you're now kind of refocusing your outlook on things. You've got a junior year, you got one more year, and then you're off to college. Obviously,
Right.
You're playing travel ball for one reason, and that's to get a scholarship to play at that next level.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been contacted by anybody? And if so, who? And if not, where would you like to not only matriculate, because you don't want to go to a college that doesn't have your major.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like, oh, they got a great baspall team, but they don't have my major. So,
Right.
Well, where would you like to go to college if you haven't already chosen?
I've been talking to a school in Oregon, Willamette, and it's I'm looking more into liberal arts, so it's a really good liberal arts school,
Okay.
and it really focuses on academics, which is what I want to focus on because I'm looking more for the future, and I'm using basketball as more like a step,
Sure.
like a stepping stone. So
Nothing wrong with that, and as
Yeah.
long as you can take the burden off your family on paying
Exactly.
for it.
Right.
I mean, they've done a great job for 18 years. It's kind of like paying them back or paying it forward to yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a good way. Is that over by the falls? I've been to Portland and the Willamette Valley and stuff. So
it's kind of like I don't really know. It's kind of close to Salem.
okay, all
Yeah,
right.
it's like it's pretty close to there, I think.
So what's
Yeah.
the mascot? The Bigfoot or?
I don't know.
I'm just messing with you. All right. So that's a good answer. Okay. We have fun here on 5-2 Sports Talk. So, all right, for the underclassmen, even though you're starting, you're still an underclassman. You're a leader on the floor as a starting position player, but you also have to take that sponge approach and I'm only a freshman, I'm only a sophomore. There's so much more that I can learn. There's so much more I can develop. So by the time you're a junior or a senior, you're just clicking on all cylinders and you're ready to roll to the next level. So talk to us about the growth as an underclassman, and even though you start, how do you look up to the upperclassmen?
No, kind of Okay. I look up to the older people for guidance and stuff. For me, when I get in my head a lot during the games, and I try to look up to them for advice and how to get out of it.
It's always nice to ask somebody that's older, because you're going to be in next year and the year after, you're going to be in that same role where the kids that are in middle school now are going to be freshmen and sophomores, and they're going to be looking to you. So it's a good experience to experience both sides of the coin, so to speak. You're coming in as a role player, even though you're starting, you're still an underclassman. There's still things that you can ask an older player advice on, and then when you become that upperclassman, you in turn give the same advice to the younger kids coming up. So that's great. So let me ask you this, and I ask this of all travel ball sports, whether it's softball, volleyball, basketball, and there's no wrong answer. I just want to get your take on it because I have my own opinion, and I'll give it to you after I hear your answers. All right, so we all agree that travel ball is a collection of all-stars. The talent level is a lot better than school. Maybe not Sal Point or Tucson, but generally it's better competition because you're the best at your respective positions. So would you rather go to Nike and win that national tournament, or would you rather come home with a state championship ring for the Lancers or the Badgers?
That's a very good question.
That's why I get paid the big money.
I think Coach is going to get mad if we say one of them.
No, there's no wrong answer. I just want to see where you're coming from. And like I said, I'll give you my impression, and you can call me crazy or whatever. Wouldn't be the first time.
I feel like either way, it's a really good outlet for all college coaches because a lot of college coaches go to the Tournament of Champions tournament, the Chicago tournaments
Right.
and stuff. But a lot of coaches also look at state championships, the teams, all the players on there. So.
Okay, so you didn't answer the question. You kind of meandered around there.
No, I
went
said
around the
both.
next block and came back, and I didn't say state championship or national or national tournament championship.
Probably have to go with the tournament champion.
Okay, all right.
I'd probably also go with the tournament champion because
Okay.
it's a higher level of basketball.
Yes, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
And like I
it's
said,
more
there's
of a
no wrong
competition.
answers. I just want to see where you're coming from.
I want to win both.
Never had that answer, but that's a good answer.
I'd probably say the tournament because it's such higher intensity. And I feel like I would win.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'd probably say the tournament too, not only because it's a higher level of basketball, but because I've been with these girls for a longer amount of time, and I feel like they're more of a family, and I'd rather go through that with them.
Okay. You want to hear what I think?
Yeah.
I'd rather win a state ring. I want to win what's on my chest. My high school. You can always go like this. I'm in my 50s. I still run into people that I played with and against, and I'm not wearing it tonight, but I can just go, remember when we kicked your butt? Just they just kind of turn around in fries or QT, and they just kind of walk away. The difference, I think the difference, and once again, this is my opinion, the difference is, to me, is I grew up with these kids. I went to elementary, I went to middle school, I went to high school with them. I mean, we all grew up together. We've known each other for our whole lives. And even though the talent is not as high as in a club ball, because we didn't have travel ball when I was playing basketball. So, you're going to know these people your whole life. They come from your community and stuff. You guys know each other, but you may not see anybody else that you play against in Chicago or Orange County or something ever again in your life. Okay? When you win a state championship, you're not only winning it for yourself, your team, your school, but, Coach, check me if I'm wrong, you're winning it for everybody that's ever gone to that school. I'll give you a prime example. I went to Pueblo High School 2 years ago. They were playing Sunnyside. They had not beat Sunnyside since 1993. That's more than a generation of losses for the Warriors. They won. My friend Brandon Sanders was the coach. They won, and I turned around and looked at the stand, and there was just tears because there was older people, there was middle-aged people, there was younger people that all got their butts kicked by the Blue Devils, and it's just like the weight of the world was off of them. At least for 1 year, they were the best team on the South Side, and they had bragging rights, and that's what school ball is all about, because you can look in the stands and you can see mom and dad, aunt and uncle and stuff that went to that school, and they are living through you now. So when you win that state championship, they also feel a part of it. Where club ball, like I said, it's more individualized. You're playing for yourselves. You're playing for a college scholarship. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's kind of just a different aspect and a different way to look at it. Would you guys agree with that? Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's talk about school a little bit, okay? I know you're a good student because I know your coach. And if you go to South Point, I went to a private school. It's now called Push Ridge. When I went, it was Palo Verde Christian. So the academics are obviously a little bit harder than public school. So, I mean, I know you guys are good athletes. So I don't need to really take the big soapbox out. I'll just take the small soapbox out. You know that at some point in your life, and we spoke about this with the coaches, you're going to have to hang up the sneakers. I mean, there's just some point in your life that you're too old to play competitive ball anymore, and that goes for any sport. So what I want to know is, what's your best subject in school? And hopefully you get straight A's, and I get straight A's in all of them. And I don't want to say worse because we don't go that way in 520 Sports Talk. Tell me the subject that mom and dad maybe sat you down over the summer and is like, you got to get this grade up a little bit. You're doing okay, but I'd like to, if you're getting a B, I'd like to see an A or something like that. So tell us your best subject and one that maybe you need a little improvement on. Anybody can start.
Okay. My best subject is math. I just like dealing with numbers and stuff like that. And then my worst subject is English.
Don't say worse. The subject that I need improvement on.
That I need to improve on is English.
All right. Okay.
I think, I would say my favorite subject is probably history.
Okay.
And then the one that, I don't get as excited about is probably math.
Okay.
Just it doesn't come to me as quickly.
Okay, so you hook up with her. You go to the same school. You're a family on the court. You're a family off the court, right, Coach?
I would say my best subject would be English, and then my least favorite would be science.
Okay, all right.
I would say my favorite subject is math, and my least favorite, language arts or English.
Okay. They call English language arts now, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I think my best subject is math too.
Okay.
I like numbers, and then my I need improvement on is English, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So once again, going back to the point I made with you, you guys are a family on the court. Help each other out. Even though you go to Tucson, they go to South Point. The telephone was invented 150 years ago. So, get on the horn, help each other out, because friendship, teamwork doesn't just end on the court when you take a shower and hang up your tennis shoes and take your uniform home to wash. It's also the academic part, because that's what makes a true friendship. And Coach, check me if I'm wrong, that's what makes a good teammate. You're okay? All right? A good teammate in my position is not when you're running suicides at the end of the day after you've had a 2-hour practice and you're just gassed and just like, hey, just kind of dog it a little bit so I don't look bad. What I'm going to say is, you get your butt up on the line, the baseline, and you give it 100%. And if you're tired and you fall over or whatever, it is what it is. But I'm not going to sit there and enable you. That's the sign of a good teammate, as you push the other people on and off the court. So that being said, we'll put the soapbox away. And how are we doing on time, Mr. Producer? Okay, so we're going to do a funny question for you. I know you're not boys, but you are in high school, and I know you love to eat, okay? Yeah. Your metabolisms are like 900 miles an hour. You don't have to worry about gaining weight or anything like that. You can eat chips, salsa, burgers, hot dogs, whatever. Okay, so that being said, give me your 2 favorite places to eat. Now, it could be a fast food restaurant, it can be a regular restaurant, or it could be mom's food, Nana's food, whoever, and you got to get rid of one the rest of your life.
I gotta think about it. Yeah, I know. We gotta think. Okay, I got it.
They turn the lights off at 9. I'm just letting you know.
Okay. My 2 favorite is Cane's and EG's.
Okay, which one goes?
Cane's.
Cane's, you're out of here. All right.
Oh boy. Okay. I think my favorite is Mod Pizza, and then my mom's she makes this cauliflower dish. It's really, really good.
Okay, so this is going to be a loaded question. Is Mom here?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's between Mod Pizza and Mom's Cooking. Which one goes?
Mom's.
Mom's goes. All right.
Sorry, Mom.
You got some splaining to do, Lucy.
I don't know yet.
Okay, my 2 favorite are In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A.
All right.
Yeah.
Come on now. I'm in California. What are we going with?
I think I'll get rid of Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
Gotta love those Badgers.
Okay, so I don't really have a favorite restaurant or fast food, but I'd say either sushi and mashed potatoes, and I'd probably get rid of sushi.
Wow, you're going to get rid of sushi for mashed potatoes. Interesting. Okay. Once again, no wrong answers. Just I want to see where you go. Let's ask you another one. I want you to think outside the box on this one. Don't give me the obvious answer. Just really think about the scenario, okay? You're on a deserted island, okay? There's 2 things you can bring with you. A person is a thing. Think outside the box.
Oh, man.
Person is a thing.
I mean, I've had answers like I'd bring my cell phone. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of cell towers on deserted islands.
Wait, so it's 2 things you would bring?
2 things you can bring, and a person can be a thing, or you can just hang out by yourself. Or you can bring your annoying little brother or something.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
That's hard.
It's kind of a brain teaser because I want you to just really think about the scenario.
Is there food on the island?
You can bring food. It's
Okay.
a deserted island.
Ah.
Okay.
You can bring all of Costco if you want.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I would bring Costco.
Okay.
And I would bring my dog.
Costco and your dog. Okay. All right.
Okay, I would bring a boat and my dog.
Oh my gosh, you're so smart.
I'd bring a boat and a paddle.
Okay. All right.
Like a
Hopefully you're
fork.
close to another
Like a fork.
island or something like that. I think a motor would have been better, but okay.
But you ran out like.
No, I want to say that.
I would bring Costco and Bear Grylls.
Costco and what?
Bear Grylls.
Okay.
But it could break down.
Okay.
It could fall in the water.
I
Sorry.
think I would bring a water purifier and chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew we were going to have a mic drop moment here. Okay.
I could think of the second one.
These 2 get it. They don't want to stay on the island. Okay, so they're bringing a boat. All right, they're going to have a little. They're going to have a little staycation there, and then they're going to get off. Okay, good answers. That's what I was thinking outside the box. You're going to bring a boat to get off the island. Okay, we've had all kinds of answers, so that's kind of a fun question that I like to ask. Okay, so before we check, are we doing good on time? Okay, so before we change up to the other group, this is a nationwide broadcast. I'll give you a little kind of a backstory. We had the Empire Girls High School basketball team on my show out east, and because of the fact that we use Facebook Live, one of the girls had not seen her father for 4 months because he was in the military. He got to watch that show in the middle of the afternoon in Guam, in the island of Guam. And he even texted, because it's an interactive show, you can text, you can make comments. He's like, "Hi, honey, it's Dad from Guam." And she just started crying because she hadn't seen him in 4 months. So that's the cool thing about why we use Facebook, why we use this format. And, so you're able to shout out to anybody in the country, the world for that matter. So here's your opportunity.
You guys go first.
I've heard fish, dog, cats, hamsters, so whatever.
Okay. Shout out to my dog, even though she doesn't love me, and Mia over there.
Okay, so I got to ask you a question. Why doesn't your dog love you?
I don't know. I feed her. I pet her. I give her all my love and affection. She just...
And just growls at you?
No, she just ignores me.
So she's more like a cat.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, she is a cat.
She is a cat, okay. All right, fair enough.
Her dog says hi.
I love the show. Who else?
Nope.
Nobody, anybody you want to say hi to? Do you live in a cave? Okay.
I say hi to Tessa.
All right.
My fans.
Fantastic freshman. Give us what you got.
I'm gonna say hi to Iron Man.
Iron Man, the character or Robert Downey? Okay, all right. Come on now, I had 9-year-olds on the show last night that were more talkative.
Sorry. Yeah.
Are these
Let
like
me give you a hint. If you're Hispanic like me, you better include Nana, because she'll throw that chocolate right down the hall past your ear.
Okay, I'll do my
And her chest pass is better than LeBron James, okay?
I'll shout out both my nanas. So.
Oh, smart.
There you go.
Good answer.
I'll shout out to my mom and my cousin that's over there.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. All right. We want to thank you for coming. It's been my pleasure and my honor to have you. I had my day in the sun a long time ago. And I just really, really like to see youth learning how to play the game that they love. Because to face it, at the end of the day, you play sports for one reason, and that's to have fun. Because if you're not having fun, you're in the wrong sport. That's why I don't golf. Okay?
Me too.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming. Keep us informed. Parents, coaches, if you have videos or still pictures or scores that we can post on the Facebook page or on our website, please forward those to us. We also have an Instagram page for pictures. We are at 520 Sports Talk on Twitter. And for those of you that don't have Facebook, this gentleman right here, my producer, will put each and every show on YouTube the following day. So you can go to 520 Sports Talk on the YouTube channel and then check out the same shows that are on Facebook. So thank you very much, ladies. I appreciate it. All right. Okay, so let's just do a little bit more housekeeping here. Frog and Firkin, this is our lead sponsor, number one sponsor. We love the Wrightsmans. Jody, Garrett, thank you so much for all you do for us. Once again, remember the fundraiser, the 520 Sports Talk fundraiser will be at Frog and Firkin in the very, very near future. It's located in the middle of University Main Gate Square. Voted the best pizza, best outside dining, and best family-owned restaurant by the Arizona Daily Star. And they're doing the Arizona Daily Star rewards for this year. So I believe it's number 403 and 405. Check me if I'm wrong, but please vote Frog and Firkin. Let's do it again. Best pizza, best outside dining, best family-owned restaurant. Let's keep it going, because really they put a lot of effort into it. They love Tucson, and it shows. And some of the best food you're ever going to eat anywhere. I don't care if it's a 5-star restaurant or what. So the food at Frog and Firkin is absolutely to die for. You'll be talking on the way home on how soon can you go back. Once again, right off University and Tyndall Avenue. Bianchi's Italian, 2 locations to serve you since 1977. Authentic Italian cuisine. Speedway and Silverbell by the West Campus of Pima, and in Marana on Tangerine, just east of Thornydale. We'd like to thank Johnny Gibson's Downtown Market, where we're at tonight. Normally we have the show under the stars outside, but I was a little bit worried about the rain and whatnot, And being summer, the stars wouldn't come out till the end of the show anyway. So we're up here in the loft. It's air conditioning. We're having a great time. Everybody like the food here at Johnny's? Good food. All right. Everybody's smiling. So we want to thank Johnny Gibson's Downtown Market. Open till midnight and the only supermarket in the downtown area. So definitely check them out. Arizona Native Landscaping, design, installation, maintenance. Go to nativelandscaping.com or check them out through their Facebook page at Arizona Native Landscaping. We were last night at our brand new show place up in Marana, High Five Sports Grill at the corner of Orange Grove and Thornydale in Sam Levitt Shopping Center. Had a great time. Check these numbers out. We had 60 people from the 9U Oro Valley TYF show, and we had 1,000 views before the show was even over. And right now the count is over 1,800. So please, if you guys right now, share it to your own Facebook page while the show is going on. Share it to the team page. The baseline is we don't have bad shows because I don't invite bad athletes, but the baseline is if you can get 1,000 views or more, you're doing really, really well. And the whole premise of the show is to get your word out there, get the organization out there, let people know who you are and who you play for. So definitely check that out. Thank you once again last night, Hi-Fi Grill. Arizona Motor Vehicle Express. I love this place. I live up in Marana at 6711 North Thornydale. Who wants to go to the DMV and spend 3 hours getting a driver's license or getting tags for your cars? Not me, not anybody with a sound mind. This place can get you in and out in 10 or 15 minutes. It costs you $10 or $15 extra than it would at the DMV, but believe me, my time is worth a lot more than $10 or $15. Check them out 9 to 5:30 and 9 to 3 on Saturday. 6711 North Thornydale, just north of the Costco. Simply Noted, making modern marketing techniques with an old-school personal touch. Expand your business footprint by going to simplynoted.com. This is owned by ex-Wildcat football player Ricky Elmore, who also played for the Houston Texans. And once again, one shout-out for our 602 sponsors up in Phoenix. Cartwright's Modern Cuisine at 6710 East Cave Creek Road, just north of Scottsdale. More than a restaurant, it's a true Arizona dining experience. Even you folks down in Tucson, if you want to take your wife, your girlfriend, or somebody special for a meal that you'll never forget, take a trip up to Cave Creek. It's real easy to get. You take the 10 to the 101 to the 202, north on Scottsdale Road, hang a left on Cave Creek Drive. You're right there. So thank you, sponsors. I appreciate it because without you, obviously, we wouldn't be doing this. So, ladies, how are you? Okay, now at the risk of talking to the other people, did we save the best for last?
Yes.
What?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. You guys are the workhorses, okay? You're like, you got to do the scout team stuff. You got to do the dirty work. You got to you got to replicate the other team's offense. I've been on both sides. So what you guys do is very, very important to the success of the team. But what it also teaches you is not only your own style, but you have to replicate the other style. So it teaches you different offenses. If the other team's going to run a high post weave, you're going to do that whether your team runs it or not. You're able to do that, and that actually adds to your repertoire when you go to a college. Oh yeah, I remember that play. That's a UCLA weave. I know what that's all about. So what you guys do is very, very important. Don't let anybody ever underestimate what you guys do because you're one sprained ankle away from going in the game, and you're in there. So just remember that. Let's start with you. Give us your name, where you go to school, and what position you play.
I'm Gabriella. I go to South Point, and I'm a guard.
I'm Jocelyn. I go to South Point, and I'm a guard as well.
I'm May. I go to South Point, and I'm a guard too.
I'm Mia. I go to South Point, and I'm a post.
Okay, so how do you guys deal with the lone badger on the scene?
We don't like her.
I personally love Skylar.
I'm kidding.
I love Skylar.
You got 9 Lancers and 1 Badger. No, both very, very good schools. I happen to know the head coach of Tucson High, and she does a fabulous job. If you're ever going to play Tucson High, whether it's at the gym there or at your own gym, you're in for a dogfight. So I think you guys know that. So, all right, so let's what's the biggest thrill that you think personally, not team-wise, just personally, the biggest thrill you have for yourself playing for Tnt Sports Academy? And anybody can start.
We get a lot of fast breaks, so it's fun to watch your teammate just go down and everyone else is cheering for them and stuff.
Well, it beats playing at Dean Smith Four Corners, that's for sure.
I think for us, it's like everything we do in practice when we just go and it just comes natural to us, like, and no one has to think about anything and we just do our thing. I think that's the best feeling to every one of us.
Okay.
For me, I think that the most thrill I get out of it is playing with each and every one of these girls. We each support each other, and that doesn't happen on a lot of teams, but I can genuinely say that I love every single girl on the team.
You know, it's nice being all Lancers because you play club ball together, you play school ball together, so the continuity doesn't change, where this coach may run a different type of offense and defense than they do at school ball, but you get the whole realm of doing it together because you're already teammates. So that right there in itself is priceless. I mean, if I could take and also it says a lot for South Point Catholic because of the fact club ball is a collection of all-stars. You are the best of the best, and especially coming from the same school, that says a lot for the athletic program at South Point Catholic. So very, very impressed with that. Mad respect for the Lancer athletic program. So, all right, so let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked the other girls. You guys went to the Nike tournament. You went to the Orange County tournament. Would you rather win? There's no wrong answer. Would you rather win a high-profile national club ball tournament, or would you rather win a state championship and get that ring?
I mean, for me personally, I've won 2 state championships with the softball team at South Point, so I'd like to experience. Yes, so I'd like to experience what like a Nike tournament, winning a Nike tournament.
Okay. I thought you were going to say I'd like to experience basketball state championship.
Yeah, well, yes, of that too.
Okay.
I'd rather win the Nike tournament just because more exposure, it's higher competition, just everything.
Good point.
I'd rather win the Nike tournament because there's coaches all around you, and with a state championship, there's not many coaches watching, I guess.
Yeah, there could be a lot of scouts in the stands, though.
I'd have to say the Nike tournament also, just because it's more high profile and it's like more, it's faster and like, yeah.
You guys are killing me. Yeah. I'd rather win a state championship because there wasn't a Nike tournament there wasn't club ball and travel ball when I played. Reason being, and like I said, there's no wrong answer. My answer is not any more important than your answer is. You guys all grew up together. You probably, before you went to South Point, you probably went to middle school, you probably went to elementary school together, or you lived in a relatively close neighborhood. You guys grew up with each other. When you can walk in, I'm telling the other girls this, I can walk into Fry's, I can walk into Bashas', I can walk into QT and see people that I not only played with but against, and I'm like, remember the ass whooping we gave you? That's priceless because they just turn around and they got nothing to say. I mean, there was one school in town, I won't mention it. We went undefeated against them. They never beat us in 4 years. And I run into those people all the time, whether it's a church or something. I'm just like, that's right. That in itself is priceless. Like I was telling the other girls, when you win a state championship, you're playing for what's right here on your chest. You're not playing for yourself. You're not playing to get a college scholarship. And you're also playing for anybody that's ever gone to that school. So if your parents went to South Point or your aunts and uncles or cousins or something like that, your state championship is just as much a part of them as it is for you. So that's the difference I see. Like I said, that's just my opinion. But, winning a national championship or a national tournament, there's a lot to be said for that too. So I just kind of wanted to see where you guys were coming from. Okay, so what year are you guys?
Senior.
You're going to be a senior. Okay, school starts what, tomorrow or next week?
August 7th, right?
August,
Yeah,
okay.
7th.
Oh, so you get an extra
Wednesday.
week off, okay. Seniors?
Senior.
I'm a junior.
Okay, so you're all upperclassmen. So let me kind of gear that towards this. You obviously are playing club ball for one reason, and that's to get to the next level and play college ball, whether it's JC, D1, 2, 3, whatever. There's a method to your madness. You want to take the burden off your parents, get a scholarship. They took care of you for 18 years. So tell me what schools have contacted you, if any, and if not, where would you like to not only play college ball, but also looking at their curriculum and earn a degree from that school?
So I haven't had any schools contact me yet, but I've always had a dream of going to the U of A.
Okay.
And I also would want to go there because of their biology program, because I want to be a genetic counselor.
Okay, that's very good. And Coach Barnes has something very, very special underway at that school.
I had a couple D3, D2 schools contact me, but I think the one that I would want to go to is probably Knox College, because its academics are very high and it's a really closed school.
Where is that located?
In Chicago.
Okay. A lot to be said for smaller colleges, because normally their academics are a lot harder than a public university.
Yeah.
I went to a D3 school. I went to Brown University in Arkansas, and it's, the academics were tough, and the fact is, it doesn't matter if you play for Pima or Yavapai or Eastern, or you play for D3, D2, D1. The thing is you want to play. I mean, a lot of players are like, oh, I'm only going to a JC. I'm like, what is wrong with that? Unless you're a 5-star recruit, as you're a freshman, you're going to sit on the bench, and you're going to soak it in. You're going to learn the system. When you go to a JC, you play right away. There's only 2 years, freshman and sophomore. So you get to play, you get the repetitions. Everybody agrees, whether it's basketball, softball, whatever, the repetitions count, and it's going to make you a better player. So There's nothing wrong. I have a lot of love for players that go the JC route. Another reason is you get your prereqs out of the way, and JCs are a lot easier than 4-year schools in getting your prereqs. And then once you get out of a JC, you can focus on your degree. So wherever you go, obviously we want to wish you the best of luck, but also, don't ever discount a JC program, because of the fact that, they do really well. I mean, look at Pima, for instance. Men's soccer won the national championship. Coach Todd Holthouse in the girls program, always in the playoffs, always in the national junior college tournament stuff. So a lot to be said for that. So let me ask you this. What degree are you pursuing? I already know what you're going to say. What degree would you guys be pursuing?
Right now, I'm interested in forensics, and I'm thinking about medical school, so pre-med or forensics.
So you're good in science and math, right?
Yes.
Atta girl.
For me, I would want my top would be to become a physical therapist and just go ahead and just help people and get personal with people. And if not, then something in the engineer world and math and
both good.
That,
physical therapy, you're never going to run out of patients because athletes are athletes and we get hurt. So what about you? Thank you.
Mine would be law or probably something in the arts.
Okay, let's focus on law. Do you like to argue?
Yes.
She make a good lawyer. Loves to argue. All right. All right, and she already got her. Okay, so kind of touching on what I just mentioned about other sports, and I'll use football as an example, and I think Coach may know this. 20 out of the first 31 first-round draft picks in the NFL were multi-sport athletes. Okay, my co-host up in Phoenix for 602 Sports Talk is Brandy Shriver. She went to high school up in Phoenix, was a 5-star softball player and a 5-star soccer player. When she came down to the U of A, she wanted to play both. Coach Candrea said, you're playing softball only. But because of the fact that she had that soccer experience, and soccer does help you in softball, softball will help you in soccer, just as a good sport to play on the side in basketball is racquetball because of the lateral movement, right, Coach? And believe me, if you guys have played racquetball for an hour, you can wring your shirt out because you're going to sweat your tail off. So playing other sports, I'm not saying competitively you have to get into a league or something like that, but, when you're on your time off, go run the track, throw a softball, throw a football. One of my coach friends at Mountain View High School, he has his softball girls throw a football for 10 minutes before they even touch a softball because of the way it works your shoulder and stuff. So tell me what other sports you have played or like to play.
I play softball, and I used to play volleyball and run track. And I think that it's all helped me with each sport, the intensity, the leadership, the communication skills. I think all sports help with everything.
And the nice thing is you're using all the muscle groups. Everybody's had a sore muscle. What does that mean? Your body's telling you haven't used me in a while. Yeah. So when you do play softball, you do play volleyball and stuff, it's you're going to use the different muscle groups that maybe your specific sport doesn't really use as much, or maybe it's a secondary muscle.
For me, I've played softball, I've played volleyball, basketball, And I also did cheer. I did frisbee. I did everything you can name it.
And when you go to a private school, you kind of have to play more than one sport. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did golf, cross country, and track. I think they all helped, like Gabby said, with running, because I think track helped with my short distance because I'm a 100-meter runner. So
Your burst, your burst speed. Okay. I got mad respect for you if you can play golf, because I don't know about you guys. I'm very competitive in athletics, and unless I can get good at something in a relatively short amount of time, I lose interest. Golf is not one of those games you can get good at quickly.
I used to play volleyball, and then I also took up dive last year, which is like,
that's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's just the dry land is really good for like abs and stuff. So
That's true. That's great. I commend you all on being multi-sport athletes. I went from football. See, we didn't have club sports, so we played in season. I went from football to basketball to baseball. I quit baseball when I couldn't hit a slider. Obviously, I love football, but I mean that's a very rough sport. So I was actually better in basketball than I was in football, even though I liked hitting people in football. So. Okay, so enough about the school, because we know that getting good grades is not to stay eligible, it's to prepare you for life. Because at some point in time, the sneaker's going to get hung up, and you're going to have to go to your respective jobs that you guys are going to learn about in college. Believe me, the 4 years in high school and the 4 years in college, Coach, check me if I'm wrong, those are the best 8 years in your life. You're on your parents' dime. You don't have the responsibility as an adult. You're young and healthy. Because once you get out of college, life goes downhill real quick. Okay? You got to start a family. You're going to be in the same position your parents are. You got a lot of responsibility. So being a kid, enjoy it while you can, because once it's over, it's over. So with that being said, let me kind of segue into my kind of a funny question, but more of an interesting question. 2 parts. Give me the best thing about being a kid, and give me the hardest thing about being a kid.
I think the best thing is just being able to make mistakes and do whatever comes to your mind.
Learn from them?
Yeah, and just being able to learn from them. And I think the
great
worst
answer.
thing is when you are faced with adversity and those problems and you don't know how to deal with them, and things just seem like the world's ending for you. So it's hard to come
But
with
it teaches
those.
you communication skills. Now, one thing that people don't realize, I have a degree in communications. That's why I do this show. But Coach will agree with me on this. The bigger part of communicating is listening, not talking. And I think that's one of the big things you learn as a kid, because you're almost forced to listen because it's your parents.
Yeah.
So.
I would say the best thing about being a kid is probably like what Jocelyn said, like being able to mess up and then learn from that. And probably the worst part is like the chores and having no say about it.
I've had that answer several times.
I like 2 things about being a kid. One is all the parties you get to go to, and then all the stuff you get to try. So you get to try like acting, art, sports, like just trying to find your thing. And then I think the worst thing about being a kid is having to always ask your parents for permission to do stuff.
Okay. All right. One of the best things about being a kid is everything's free. Yeah. I get geeked up. I was like, hey, I just got a free pizza. And the kids are looking at it like, everything's free. What are you talking about? The worst thing, I would say the worst thing, but one of the biggest challenges is, I think, especially girls your age, because you're this far from being an adult, is sometimes people don't take you seriously. Oh, you're just a kid. You guys find that to be the case sometimes? Okay. When you're a little kid, you can say that, but when you're 15, 16, 17 years old and you're going to be an adult at 18, it's got to be frustrating at times. It's like, man, nobody's taking me seriously, and I'm not a little kid anymore. So just some food for thought. Okay, here's a real funny question. I asked those girls because I know you guys like to eat, okay? So we're going to kind of stay on the food topic. I asked them, give me your 2 favorite places to eat, whether it's fast food, restaurant, mom's cooking, whatever. You got to get rid of one the rest of your life. Your question is, you're a travel team. You cannot travel without a vehicle. Vehicles cannot go without gas. You see where I'm going with this? You got to go to a gas station. What's your favorite gas station food and drink?
Quick Trip.
and those little milkshakes that you can get, and then you could put them in the little machine, and they like go up and they like swirl
Those
around.
are killer, aren't they? Everything at Quick Trip's
They're
cool.
so fun. Okay.
At Quick Trip, I like the smoothies that they have there.
Okay, all right.
I like Quick Trip and going to the thing and making my ice cream and like M&Ms and Oreos.
Okay, that's a good one. Build your own.
Quick Trip, a Snickers, and a Pepsi.
Okay. Now, you guys didn't give me drinks. You only gave me food.
I'd probably, I don't know.
A big water.
I'd get a Dr. Pepper.
Big water. That's exciting. Dr. Pepper, what about you?
Oh, I said the smoothie.
Oh, smoothie, that's right, and Pepsi. Okay. Let me ask you this, and Coach knows because I already told them. You're after a game, you're tired, your muscles are sore, you just, you need to kind of rehab them. What do you think the best thing to drink after a game is to help your muscles rejuvenate themselves?
I think a smoothie.
A smoothie? Okay. All right. Maybe psychologically.
I had one this morning.
I normally like peanut butter, like protein smoothies.
Okay.
Shakes.
All right.
I usually go for some fresh squeezed juice.
Okay.
I drink the stuff that Tessa brings. It's like Spark or something.
Okay.
That's pre-workout.
Okay. This is a fact, okay? I was in the EMS world for most of my career, so I know how the body works, okay? If you don't believe me, ask a sports medicine doctor, okay? The best thing for sore muscles is chocolate milk. There's something in the cocoa bean that rejuvenates your muscles. Now, if you're lactose intolerant, they got almond chocolate milk, but the chocolate is the key. Who doesn't like chocolate milk?
I love chocolate.
I mean, you guys are girls. Who doesn't like chocolate? Come on. All right. Chocolate milk, all right?
You can take that on her.
Thank you, Mr. Producer. Food for thought. Okay. How much time we got?
Let's do one more funny question.
One more funny question. We saved the best for last. We'll give you 3 funny questions, okay? If you could go forward in time or back in time, where would you go? You want to go to medieval times? You want to go to the future, George Jetson, or you want to go back to the turn of the century? Where would you go, and what would you do?
I'm a big 90s girl, so I'd probably go back to the 90s and just experience life.
Grunge music, flannel. Okay, I'm with you. Pearl Jam.
I'd probably do that too because of all the party and the positive
Okay,
vibes
all right.
and just everything.
I was an 80s kid, but we like the 90s
That's what I was
too.
going to say. I would do that, but the 80s.
Okay, all right.
I would say the 70s because it's all peace and love,
Maisel.
Peace and love, tie-dye.
That's more the 60s, but okay.
Oh.
Ask your parents. That's kind of like pre-Vietnam War. All right. Okay, so as I told you in the pre-show instructions, this is a nationwide broadcast. So anybody in the nation, for the world that even, can see this. My job is to get you exposure, to get the organization promotion, to have kids want to join TNT, and to have people watch you. We've got 3 scouting services watching the show tonight, okay? They may contact your coach. Who do you want to shout out to? Anybody in-house, in Tucson, anywhere in the nation, other cities or states?
Tessa shouted me out earlier, so I'm going to shout out to my girl Tessa over there. I love you, man.
What is this, a Bud Light commercial or something? I love you, man.
I'm going to shout out,
Wicked.
Remember that?
I'm going to say Michelle Obama.
Okay, Michelle Obama. Hopefully you're watching, Michelle.
I like to shout out just all my family and friends and everyone that's always supported me.
Lancer Nation.
Yeah, all the Lancers.
All right, anybody Hispanic here?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Don't forget Nana because you know what the chonkla is, right?
Yeah, Tata.
Okay.
My whole family and my coaches.
Okay. Because remember, Nana's chest pass with that chonkla is better than LeBron James.
Not going to serve you dinner tonight.
That's right. No tamales. All right, great. Thank you guys so much. It's my honor to have you guys here. Did everybody have fun? First group, did you have fun? Yeah. All right, so let me put this challenge out to you and the coaches, the parents. Okay, the next tournament you go to and you take it all, you get the trophy, you get the whatever it is, whatever they give you for first place, you're back on the show because I want to talk about it, okay? We want to talk about your improvement, want to talk about what you learned from being the top dog, and just go from there. We love having repeat visits on 520 Sports Talk. So that's your challenge from me, the owner of 520 Sports Talk. So thank you very much for being on the show. It's been my pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And once again, a big shout out to Tucson High School and South Point Catholic High School. So thank you for providing these great athletes to us. And hopefully both schools can bring home a 4A and a 6A state championship. So our show tomorrow, originally scheduled for High Five Lounge, has been canceled. So this is the last show of the week. We are going to be going up to Phoenix, the August 15th. It's going to be a blockbuster show. It's going to be one of the best high school football programs in the state of Arizona, the Chandler High School Wolves. Just to give you kind of a little backstory, they've got 3 sophomores right now with Division I offers. 5 of their seniors are already committed. 2 are going to Pac-12 schools. The other 3 are going to Big Ten schools. So this program is just on a roll. They don't rebuild. They just reload. We're going to find out what the secret of their success is. It's going to be at our new location up in Chandler, the Copper Still Moonshine Grill. It's on Chandler Boulevard, just east of the 10 freeway. If you know where Rudy's Barbecue is, it's just before that. You can check out the 520, you can check out the 602 Sports Talk page for the answer. We do have a 520 Sports Talk page. We also have a 602 Sports Talk page for the shows up in the Valley. So I want to thank Pearson Sturtevant, our great producer. I'm Bill McCullough. David Adams will be back with us next week. 520 Sports Talk, Southern Arizona sports with a twist, and it's a